Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha'Allah, Koholoyimla, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakahakudash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. And just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and Akwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan Nawaf. It's coming at you with another quick lesson praying that is edifying by the Spirit. And this is a clear indicator with stories like these that we are the children of Israel, because we are under curses that, the Lord placed on us that no other nation of people deal with. I mean, you have, things going on with the other nations, but not like how it goes with, our people as far as the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And that's, it's a real indicator that we are the children of Israel, because the Bible says that, these curses will be for a sign and a wonder on our people forever, and no one's going to be able to get us out of the predicament that we're in except for the Lord. So we're dealing right now, man. Like we're completely destroyed as a people. We have all the other nations over us, dogging us out, talking shit to us, looking at us like we're not shit, licking the wound, and we treat each other like trash, but I'm just going to get into some of this article real quick. This young man right here, Kansas mom who shot teen son, claims she fired the gun to scare him before losing her baby. Anyway, let's just read into some of it. A Kansas mom who shot her teenage son dead claims she fired the gun to scare him. Tesha Jenkins, also known as Tesha Florence, is charged with second-degree murder in the death of her 16-year-old Robert Florence. Jenkins said Robert was a bad kid who was into drugs and wouldn't go to school. She said she accidentally shot Robert after he pulled a gun out of her backpack. Wichita police responded to reports of gunfire. Jenkins' apartment where Robert lying face down in their living room with a gunshot wound to the head. Jenkins was emotionally distraught and fell to the ground and rolled around in distress, police say. After being placed in handcuffs, she then cried out, "I shot my baby." And that's a rough looking pic of a lady, man, with, obviously dealing with children by herself. Because you never really hear about no dads in the picture. You don't hear nothing about no fathers in the picture, man, when it comes to stuff like this. Jenkins reportedly had blood on her hands, the waist area of her shirt, and her face. Jenkins said Robert was supposed to go to school that day, but he didn't. He didn't want to. When his two oldest brothers left the apartment, she called the school to let them know Robert would not be in for the day. Reports. Okay, well, if he's 16, he got two older brothers. I don't know, what he, maybe 17, 18, whatever. I'm not sure on that. But again, like I said, you're not going to hear about you don't be hearing about no men, no dads in the picture of these stories. Tesha said that Robert had been nagging at her, calling out "mama" repeatedly. The teenager then told his mother he was going to go downstairs to the neighbors to get some weed. He then reportedly begged Tesha to use her phone, but his mother refused. She said that Robert began to antagonize her by ripping down the curtains and tearing up pieces of paper and throwing them all over the floor. She added that Robert was pushing her buttons. She then witnessed Robert reach for her black backpack where she kept a 9mm handgun and pulled out the weapon. She said he did not point it at her, nor did he make any threats towards her. She leaped forward at Robert and was able to get the backpack and the handgun away from him. She then pointed the gun at Robert and yelled, "Do you want to die?" She then said the handgun went off and Robert fell to the floor. Tesha said at the time she thought the gun was empty and had believed that she had removed all live rounds from the weapon Weeks prior to the incident, according to the probable cause affidavit, Tesha stated that she had, whoever wrote this shit, they just, anyway, to operate the handgun and had owned it for 7 years. She denied ever intending to shoot Robert, but said she may have intended to discharge the handgun in an attempt to scare the teenager. Robert was transported to the Wesley Medical Center where he underwent surgery afterwards to brain viability on October 10th and October 11th, but neither test showed any brain activity. He was pronounced dead at 8:47 a.m. on October 11th. And that's pretty much the story. People be writing these stories up and, a lot of misspellings and a bunch of other hookups. But we got the gist of the story. And, that's going to be a long hookup right there, man. I went to jury duty. I said it in another lesson, but I went to jury duty last week. And it was a so-called black woman. She was like, I don't know, in her 20s or something like that. And she was in there on a 10 charges, gun this, she discharged, she was shooting, I don't know, at a damn gas station or some crazy shit. And I'm like, Lord, please help me to not be a part of this, but I had to go. I had already, normally I would throw those things in the trash, I always did, but the spirit was just like, yeah, just go ahead and go. And it was for a good reason, because I was able to see the criminal justice system, man, from a side that I'd never seen it from before, because I'm looking like, God damn, it's a lot of people here. It's a lot of cases. I'm talking about, man, when I say so many jurors, motherfuckers is in the hundreds, man. It's like 7 a.m., it's still kind of dark out, the sun, they haven't done that silly ass daylight savings time. But man, when I tell you it was so much traffic, because it was dark outside when I got there. And I'm looking at all these people, and then once I get in there, and I'm looking like, damn, they talking about all these courtrooms and all these cases. This goddamn building is like, I don't even know how many floors, but they got courtroom. It had them in at least 10 to 15 floors. And they had courtrooms on all those floors. And they needed jurors. They picking out 12 from all these people. And I'm just sitting there like, wow. But this lady, she was sitting there and she was, black, so-called black lady. And I'm looking like, wow. She was, sniffling and shit. The sheriff passing her damn Kleenex. And it just dawned on me the curses that we're really under. Even hearing the jurors that they were selecting. Because, they have this process where, each side, the state going to, try and get who they think is going to help them win the case. And then, of course, you got the other side. And they questioning these people. And as the so-called black people was coming up there, and they was at, they ask you a few questions. And all our people had the same answers, basically. Because the judge would ask, well, have you ever been a part of any crime? Or have you ever, any of your family members ever been a part of a fucked up situation, basically? And all our people, every one of them said yes. My brother went to jail for this. They went to jail for that. My son such and such was shot and killed. My mom was shot and killed. My dad was shot and killed. This was the response of all the so-called black people. But when it came to the so-called white people, and matter of fact, he was like, yeah, and what's your education level? All Jake had was high school education levels. But as they was questioning the so-called white people, yeah, I went to the University of such and such. I'm an engineer. I have a PhD in this, and and I'm looking like, just the differences between our people and the other races of people that they was calling up there, it was night and day. And it showed me, really, in reality, these curses right here of Deuteronomy chapter 28. And I don't mean to rant, I just wanted to set the story up, because I'm looking at her in that courtroom like, yeah, that's a lot of shit you got to go through. And I don't know what the outcome was. Didn't want to know what the outcome was going to be. I just knew that the shit that they was naming off as far as the charges for her was scary. Straight up. But this is Deuteronomy chapter 28. I'm going to start at verse 45. It says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed. And that's our people in a nutshell. Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. This is the reason why we're going through what we're going through. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. And this is what we're witnessing in the earth, man, right now, right? This is what's going on. We're under these curses so cold, man. You can't say that this is not us or our people, man. We don't own anything. We're just paying damn taxes. We go to work, we pay taxes. We work to sleep and sleep to work. That's all we have in this earth. We don't have no military. We don't have our own land where people are coming in and flying in and having to show us their passports and shit. No, we don't have nothing like that. Our people out here running around right where, at least in the Americas, about to vote for somebody that cares absolutely nothing about their asses. And they willing to fight for that shit. But anyway, let me get to the point right here too. This is one of the curses right here. Verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom, and towards her son, and towards her daughter. So these curses are on our, the men, women, and children. And they really have overtaken us. You can't get around it, man. These curses have really overtaken us. We're through. So we do these lessons to let our people know, to repent to the Father, Yahweh, in the name of his son, Yahushai. And that's the only medicine that we have. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that can get us out of what we're in. And eventually the Lord is going to come and get us out of the hands of our enemies completely. But as we live right now on the planet, as we live day to day, if we follow these rules and regulations that the Lord gave us to the best of our ability, it's life changing, man. To get rid of that anger, being slow to anger. Let me get that real quick. Not making rash decisions and shit. I think it's Proverbs 16. No, is it 15? 16? Yeah, 16. Proverbs 16 and 32. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. And he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city. See? Now, has she been able to rule her spirit? That more than likely wouldn't have happened. But man's goings of the Lord, though, too. And now also, let me see here. There's a scripture. Because, see, this little dude, he actually just got his judgment, man. In the ancient days, he would have been got probably earlier. You know what I'm saying? Let's get this Deuteronomy 21 and 18. It says, if a man have a stubborn or rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him, will not hearken unto them, then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him, and bring him out unto the elders of his city, and unto the gate of his place, and they shall say unto the elders of his city, this our son is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. And all the men of this city shall stone him with stones, that he die. So shalt thou put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear. See, this is what happened in the ancient days. And you got people that, they'll look at the Bible like, well, that's so cruel. He's just a child. That's a grown-ass man. He's just a young man. He's young. He's a young adult. You know what I'm saying? But he's actually of age where he could have had his own place with his, with a woman and a couple of children at that age in the ancient days. You see? If your mom is on her own and she's trying to take care of you, you know what I'm saying? You should be at least, thinking, well, let me help my mom. I'm not going to put no burdens or no troubles on her. I'm just going to go to school. I'm going to do what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? I get out of school. I'm going to try and do something to better help myself and her. Or that getting in trouble shit, you know what I'm saying? But you can clearly see that, that you could just see in her eyes. And the places that we live. And, and another thing that when I was, at that jury duty bullshit, a lot of the things that, seemed like every one of our people was up there, was like, well, I grew up in a rough neighborhood. Because this lawyer was trying to pretty much ask him about guns. How do you feel about guns? Do you feel like a person should be able to protect yourself? Whatever. If I done this to you, what would you do? And Jake up there like, shit, I'm give it to your ass because and that lawyer would be like, well, why would you say that, or why would you think that way? Well, I grew up in a rough neighborhood, and you have to defend yourself, and but it was different, man. I could see those curses on our people. Cold-blooded, man. So the Lord was showing me that. And our people are under these curses. But like I said, see, in the ancient days, this guy wouldn't have been no problem because they would have got rid of his ass. That shit would have been heard about. It clearly says that would have been heard about, and it would have put fear in the other children in the community. You don't want no parts of what they would have done. Can you imagine? It says, and all the men of his city shall stone him with stones. And men were a lot bigger. You can have small dudes that's throwing stones at your ass. I'm looking at some big ass rocks right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers picking up big stones, man, and just tearing off your cheekbone and, cracking your goddamn cranium. He had his arms up. You know what I'm saying? Breaking your damn forearms, your damn elbows is exposed. Mangled by the time they got done stoning his ass, man. Mangled. So imagine the other children in the neighborhood or, the communities back then hearing about that shit or seeing that shit. Imagine the fear that placed into them. They was going to do what the fuck they were supposed to do. And see, Esau got this system where, he calls these motherfuckers kids until they turn 21 or 18 when these are young adults. See, only in this man's kingdom, is that shit like that, Then he wants to discipline your child, after he's telling you you can't whoop their ass. And that man is very important in the home, man. A woman raising young men like that. She was 3 boys. It didn't say nothing about she had no daughters. Or 3 young men. They don't mention no husband and or no father or no grandfather or uncle or any of that. No male cousins. Because generally, even the grandfathers these days are wicked as hell. They out here acting like fucking 16-year-olds. Right? So, I mean, he got what the Lord gave him that business, man. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. The Lord gave this guy that business. Deuteronomy 32 and 39. See now that I, even I, am he. Salakia. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. It was just time for that guy to go, man. He got his judgment. The Lord sent the spirit of vengeance, man, and knocked his ass off. And actually punished her ass too. Because she's probably more than likely going to do some time for that. If her lawyer, tries to get on that self-defense shit, it's more than likely not going to work. Because she's under those curses as well. Who knows what she may have done. She probably ran a good man off. The father was probably a good man. Right? Trying to do what he could. And she probably ran his ass off. So now she's dealing with 3 young men. Now the other two young men, I'm not sure how old they are. What are they going to do? They're not going to just be able to live in the apartment by themselves. What are they going to do? What, the state just going to come through, swoop their asses up? And they saying that, if they were older brothers, they have to be at least at you know, an age of being adults, you know, or state-wise, or, you know, by this man's laws, that they just gonna have to go out and try and make it happen. Go stay with grandmama or somebody. That's generally how that shit go, until they, you know, they get on their feet or whatever. But man, normally in these, you know, in these particular neighborhoods that we live in, man, it's just, hey, shit rough, bro. It's a bad case that we're in. And again, the only way that we're gonna get out of what we're in, man, is the Lord, man. That's it, because that's all we got. That is all that we have, man. And you have matter of fact, let's get this real quick. And you can clearly see we're in the last days because of the things that's going on. 2 Timothy 3:1, it talks about the perilous times. I'm going to start at the top here. 2 Timothy 3, verse 1. This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents. This is the most disobedient generation ever, man. Unthankful, unholy, see, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. Now, this was written like 2,000 or so years ago. Just think about what it's like right now. We're down to the last seconds of this shit, man. Having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof, from such turn away. Right? Yeah, this place is through. We are under those curses hardcore, man. And it's only a matter of time before the Lord. Hey, this right here is giving you the clear blueprint as to how close we are to the Lord coming. Because people like this shit, all these things that's named off on this list right here, that's your average person that you may walk across in a Walmart, in your local supermarket, at a gas station, at the bank. You know, even your people that supposedly got professional degrees and shit. Everybody that you come across, if they not into this truth, they don't know these scriptures, if they not calling on the name of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, then all they pretty much, this list, that's them. That's them. And what does it say? The Lord said, from such turn away. From such turn away. You have to, you know, just go ahead and get the fuck away from these people, man. I know this one chick, all she do is complain about, you know, her sister, and how she's self-centered, and she's a user, she's an opportunist, and this, that, and the third. And we talking about somebody in their 40s, man, like damn near 50 years old, just selfish as hell, acting like a damn kid, getting rid of good men over and over and over again. I'm just like, hey, you know, I don't even want to, you know, it's just high and by with me. Like, I don't want to hear nothing, because you talk about nothing but confusion. I don't want to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's, hey, how you doing? How, you know, the neighbors, you just like, hey, how you doing? And keep it moving, man. Because there's always some shit with them, and they don't get it. They don't get it, man. They don't want nothing to do with discipline. They don't want anything to do with reproof, and they fit this whole damn list. And I be trying to just, you know, keep it moving. Keep the fuck moving, man. Nobody want to hear it, man. But some of the shit that she be saying about, it's the womanly thing, like the shit that she be talking about. I be like, God damn, is this all you know? Is this all that you know got going on? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, shit, hey, you probably need to, you know, shit. You're talking about how depressed she is. I'm like, yeah, you are depressed. Your ass is depressing. I don't want to talk to you. You know, I'm at a point where all people pretty much overall, hey, how you doing? And keep it moving. That's it, man. Because our people are through. We are living in these last days, and people are going to get even more harsher, man. And the Lord is really, you know, dealing with the brothers to, you know, to pretty much become callous, man. It's like you get so damn tired of this shit. It's just, it's like, what can you do? Romans 13:11, in that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. And the only way you can do that is to repent to the Father, Yahweh, in the name of his son, Yahushai. Get into these scriptures, find out the do's and don'ts, and roll with it, man, to the best of your ability. Calling on Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai to help you, to purge you of bullshit, man. To purge you of the dark deeds, you know? Because these scriptures are alive, man. They definitely alive. They cut, man. The scripture, you know, that said Hebrews 4:12. Hey, these scriptures cut, bro. Hebrews 4:12. It says, for the word of Yahweh is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. We need these scriptures. We need this word. The Lord, he set this whole thing out for us. He gave us rules and regulations, laws, statutes, and commandments, precepts that would keep us pure. You know what I'm saying? And our people, you know, they find that to be boring, because Jake loved entertainment. Oh, but look at that nation. Look at what they're doing. Look at what they're into. Now here you go. The Lord done told you, don't follow in and behind these people, these other nations, and don't follow in behind their gods. He telling us, he done told us that, you know, the customs of these people are vain, but our people love that entertainment, man. Jake love to be entertained. That's your bread and circus. All you got to do is throw Jake a little bit of entertainment, and he's fine. And Jake don't like nothing. He doesn't even like pure entertainment, because there's all kinds of entertainment. But Jake liked the harsh shit, the nastiness, you know, if it's not a gun involved, it's not gangster. I don't want to go and see that movie. It's not gangster. You know? I don't want to listen to no damn Beethoven. It's not gangster. You know what I'm saying? Because coming into this truth, I started listening. Matter of fact, it's playing in the background right now. You know, when people be like, that's the music that you listen to? Yeah, I love some classical music now. Never was into it. Never even fucking really even knew about it. You know, was always listening to that dumbass rap music. That's probably what happened with this guy. Probably was into that. You know, of course he had to been. That's our community. They listen to that dumbass rap music. He's 16. He's telling his mama he going downstairs to buy weed from the neighbor. So this right here is a result of a so-called black woman raising children, man. These are the people that are women raised, man. And then they want to get out here and complain about where's the good black man at. You raising them. You raising these niggas that you complaining about. And don't tell them what the other two sons is into. They was probably just going to school just bullshit. Or they could have been some straight A students. Who knows? Anyway, I know that those curses are on our ass and they're on us cold, man. See? And you'll have little pictures like this right here. And we do hate it. You know, it's a sad situation, but we understand you know, what's going on, man. Matter of fact, let me get one more out here. But the Lord sent that spirit of vengeance on that guy, man. Then they got a damn GoFundMe. Proverbs 28:5. Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek the Lord understand all things. We understand that the Lord judged this guy. We understand it, man. And also, let me get this too. This comes to mind every time I see that, though. These types of stories, because this right here is the main rules that the Lord laid down for us right here. Exodus chapter 20, those 10 commandments. Verse 12. Exodus 20:12. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. See? That's the first commandment with promise right there. That if you honor your mother and your father, your days on this earth, could be, prolonged. But if you get out of hand, and that goes back to, that scripture that I read at first, one of the laws where it talks about a stubborn son, and you ain't really, the daughters was pretty much a lot more in order at that, back in those times. And that's how you know that the Lord is really dealing with the men as well. But hey, anyway, if we had these laws in place right now, these kids would be in order. You wouldn't have all the crime that you have. You wouldn't have to worry about clutching your damn purse. You wouldn't have to. Everybody got a goddamn gun on their hip. She wouldn't have needed no 9mm. Wouldn't be no road rage, And this is what we going back to too. When the Lord comes and we get those new bodies, and those the law, statutes, and commandments are going to be written on our minds and our hearts. That's how you know we're not under the new covenant. If we was under the new covenant, this shit right here wouldn't have happened. So when we come back into our original state, ain't gonna be no. You better believe Esau not gonna be making no guns. He all that Smith and Wesson, all these different companies, and the Edomites. Esau not gonna be able to make no goddamn nuclear weapon no more. He ain't gonna be able to make no shotgun, no grenade, no fucking fighter jets and shit like that. All that shit gonna be over with. And I can't wait, man. So, again, sad story, sad situation. But hey, this guy got his judgment, man. Because he wasn't honoring his mom, regardless as to what she might have been like. But of course, you can clearly see on her face that she didn't get these bags under her eyes just this quick. She looked like she got some goddamn grocery bags on her, just up, worrying, rocking back and forth, smoking a pack of cigarettes within a damn hour, sipping on something. Like you can clearly see she got stress in her eyes for real. But that's what happens, in our communities, man. These curses are on our people real cold. And see, the so-called white man, he set you women up to be by your damn selves, and you fell for the bait. Because I'm pretty certain she's more than likely on maybe getting some child support possibly. But on Section 8, motherfucking food stamps. It's not saying anything in the story, well, I came home from work, I was tired, and this, and this. Or, I got a call while I was at work, that he didn't show up for school. No, more than likely in an apartment building where a nigga can go downstairs and get weed. You can put 2 and 2 together with that. I mean, come on, bro. Anyway, though, I'm going to end out there. It's high time to awake out of sleep and to repent to the Father Yahweh in the name of his son Yahweh Shai. With that, Shalom.